Thank you, Malachi. Hurricane season, of course, is here, and that means the crews will again be flying those research planes right into the storms that develop. Storm Team 7 meteorologist Dan Bickford tells us why that is important in watching our inland threat.
So I could see the lightning out the side window, but I couldn't see out the front. And so we finally made it through a very bumpy eye wall, burst out into the eye, and the first words of the pilot over the intercom were wholly not repeatable for television. You could stick your head up against the side of the aircraft windows and look up, and there's just this hole in the sky with stars and a full moon shining down at you. And it just struck me that this is just such an incredibly beautiful sight that few people in the world will ever get to experience.
It's not your normal plane ride. Hurricane Hunter missions on these WC-130J aircraft last 10 to 12 hours, 6 of those in and around a storm. Their paths crisscross the storm's center 3 or 4 times, punching through the high winds.
We do the opposite of general aviation. We turn and go toward the storm instead of turn away from it. Over the years, we've developed good techniques in risk mitigation techniques, radars improved, things like that. So we kind of learned how to hit the soft spots in the storm.
Even so, the ride can get a little rough.
It was the landfall mission of Hurricane Ike in 2008 when it was hitting South Texas. And what I remember most about it is that's the time that I knew Ike was flying the airplane and I was not flying the airplane. And it probably only lasted 20 or 30 seconds, but it felt like an hour, and I'll never forget that.
Why is doing this so important? Getting the exact location of the center of the storm and getting weather information from inside the storm lead to more accurate forecasts.
The data we collect can't be collected any other way. People will often ask, well, don't you have satellites, this, that, the other thing? Why are we still sending men and women into storms? Well, satellite picture is great. It's like an X-ray. But sometimes you need that exact information in the center, like a biopsy. And these aircraft are our biopsy tools.
This makes a huge difference in letting people know when they need to prepare.
And last night, around 11:30, I came out here and the water had just covered this bottom step.
Please pay attention to those watches and warnings, and if the emergency managers say you need to take action, whether it's getting out from storm surge along the coast or worrying about river flooding here in inland areas, or high winds, if you have to worry about trees falling, and prepare for, be prepared going into the season and take action when you're advised to take action.
Meteorologist Dan Bickford, 7 News.
Now remember, you can stay on top of the latest during the hurricane season by clicking on the Hurricane Center in the Weather tab on our website, WSPA.com. You can also download the 7 News app to get the very latest weather warnings where you live. And tomorrow we're going to look at some ways to protect your property before the storms threaten.